Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Elmhurst College in Langhorse Field for tonight's CCIW men's soccer contest featuring the visiting North Park University Vikings and your Elmhurst College Blue Jays. Before we begin, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the Vikings of North Park. Starting in goal, number 1, Wesley Woodley. Number 4, Carl Damberg. Number 7, Mike Herbst. Number 8, Jacob Aronson. Number 9, Jonas Peterson. Number 11, Frederick Graef. Number 17, Robin Halls. Number 20, Pedram Tame Musiole. Number 23, Diego Lashley. Number 25, Joe Ferguson. And number 33, Prema Zabzils. North Park is coached by John Bourne and enters tonight's game with an overall record of 9-3-1. And now the starting lineups for your Elmhurst College Blue Jays. Starting in goal, number 0, John Regland. Number 2, Alex Safford. Number 5, Christian Mullen. Number 8, Austin Haas. Number 9, Andrew Witzowski. Number 10, Brett Stifler. Number 11, Mikey Emig. Number 21, Brad Yarwood. Number 23, Jeff Kading. Number 28, Andrew Moore. And number 32, Jordan Fletcher. The Blue Jays are coached by Dave DiTomaso. Elmhurst enters tonight's game with an overall record of 8-2-2. Our officials for this evening's contest are Rushtamayan, James Wozni, and Roman Wacha. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to BlueJayTV.com. My name is Kevin Jude. Glad you could be with us tonight as we're ready for Elmhurst College men's soccer. The Blue Jays taking on North Park University in a pivotal CCIW contest. North Park enters the game ranked 19th in the nation, 9-3-1 overall, 2-0 in the CCIW. They sit alone at the top of the conference standings. The only team without a loss or a tie this season. Elmhurst 8-2-2, 1-0-1 in the conference. Blue Jays ranked 5th in the latest regional poll. This one for battle to stay on the top of the league standings. We'll run down the lineups for both teams here momentarily. We'll start first with North Park. Wesley Woodley starts in goal. Carl Damberg, Mike Herbst, Jacob Aronson, Johannes Peterson, Frederick Graef, Robin Halls, Pedram Tame Musole, number 20, Diego Lashley, Joe Ferguson, and Prema Zabzils in there for the Vikings. For Elmhurst, John Regland starts in goal. Alex Safford, Christian Mullen, Austin Haas, Andrew Witzowski, Brett Stifler, Mikey Emig, Brad Yarwood, Jeff Kading, Andrew Moore, and Jordan Fletcher. Elmhurst playing tonight without the services of their leading scorer, Michael DeLong, banged up, not available. Elmhurst in the all-whites
North Park wearing the black jerseys with the bright gold socks and the white trim, white and gold trim numbers. Talk about the two goalkeepers for each team. Woodley comes in, 13 games played, a 0.69 goals against average. He's given up just 9 goals on the season to go along with 58 saves and 8 shutouts. Just as equal up to the challenge. John Regland, the Blue Jays keeper, 6 goals allowed, a 0.51 goals against average, 53 saves, 6 shutouts. He's the reigning CCW Player of the Week. Went 2 shutouts, and he hasn't allowed a goal in his last. The team has not allowed a goal since all the way back since the College game was a shutout earned by Nate Power in net, filling in for Regland that day. Regland's gone over 400 minutes without a goal allowed, giving up a goal. The Blue Jays as a team have gone over 500 minutes without a goal allowed. Last 5 have all been shutouts for the Blue Jays. Here's the Blue Jays with the free kick. That one's going to one-hop in and go headed back into the nearly in, and now it's knocked in front. Right in front, the Blue Jays get on the board first. That's Mikey Emig, number 11, coming off the assist from Austin Haas. Just like that, 2 minutes, 34 seconds into the match, and the Blue Jays capitalize on the North Park foul on the free kick. They knock it around a couple times. Haas popped it into the air, and Emig knocked it home. So Elmhurst is on the board first. They were on the board first last year when they scored, when they played at North Park. The all-time series, the Vikings have dominated it. 7-1-2 is where it stands. North Park winners 7 times. Elmhurst just 1 win. That came during the 2007 season. Twice they've played to a tie. Both of those ties have come in the last 4 seasons. Last year, North Park toppling Elmhurst 5-1, a very banged-up Blue Jays squad playing in Chicago last year. 5-1. It was 1-0 Elmhurst, too. Andrew Wadzowski put the Blue Jays on the board. North Park tied it in the first half, and 4 unanswered goals for the Vikings in the second half to close it out. But Elmhurst on the board, wasting little time as Emmett gets on the board. A very big goal for the Blue Jays, just his 3rd goal of the season. And with DeLong out tonight, the Blue Jays are going to look for some other goal scorers, and Emmett cashes in right off the bat. Haas will bang it downfield for the Blue Jays, headed around. Flicked forward by North Park. Ferguson far sideline. That one is flicked back over the head and out of play. It'll be an a North Park throw-in. Here's Andrew Moore. Moore with some room to run, puts on the brakes, has it poked away for a momentarily. Now Wadzowski serves it in, racing in for the Blue Jays, trying to catch up, and the Vikings do a nice job covering back up on defense. But not out yet. Here's Wadzowski again. Centering pass is deflected off a North Park head. It'll roll over the end line, and it'll be a throw-in for, a corner kick for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays with a corner kick here. Put back in play as Kading. It's sent right back to him. He pulls it down with the foot, and he'll try it again. Driving that one all the way over the head of his teammates. Collected by the Vikings and now grabbed by Graef. Blue Jays getting back defensively. Graef's pass is headed down by Moore. Wadzowski is there for Elmhurst. Here's Kading. Back to Wadzowski, checking for space. Shoots it forward, touchdown, and Emick is just offside. Otherwise, he was off to the races. Fletcher trying to spring Emick, and Emick got caught offside. So the first 5 minutes of the game have belonged to the Blue Jays so far. North Park, a very dangerous team we talked about, coming in on a 7-game winning streak. There's the Vikings carrying far sideline. Herbst. Pass is taken away by Haas. One back by North Park, but a whistle and a foul goes against Elmhurst on Stifler. Free kick for the Vikings, 50 yards out of the net. Handled by Reglan. Booted away downfield. Headed once, now touched on by Witzowski. Headed again by Moore. Tripped up, and whistle and a foul goes against the Vikings. Quick restart by the Blue Jays. There's Emick. Playing with space to Haas, trying to touch on to Moore as he was sprinting in. Here's Andrew Moore trying to get the cross off, and he's ridden off the ball nicely by Ferguson. That'll be a goal kick for the Vikings. Equipment issue here for the Vikings keeper, Woodley. So we stop minor stoppage of the clock as he's adjusting and fixing the gloves. Woodley and Reglan, the two keepers at the top of the CCIW standings in most defensive categories. Saves percentage, goals against average as well. Here's Moore, heading it down for the Blue Jays. Knocked around, not out. Won by Ferguson. His pass back towards the middle is going to be steered away by Elmhurst. Witzowski will wait for it to come to him. Now flipped into the air by Stifler, but swept away by the Vikings and Peterson. This one will roll all the way back to Yarwood, and he'll just steer it out of play. Throw in for the Vikings far sideline, 36:29 left. Jeff Kading volleys it straight back out of play. Another throw in for the Vikings on the far side. Poked out of play by Yarwood again, so another throw in for North Park. That one's still loose in play, and now finally lifted out of there by Mullen. Nice run from the far side by North Park. Emick double team, tangled up. Play on, says the official. Trying a little touch pass here that goes off the North Park player for Halls, and it'll be a throw in for Elmhurst on the near side. Lobbing it in, headed on by Emick. Touched on by Stifler, but it'll roll out of play. Throw in for the Vikings on the near side. Not quite 10 minutes in the books yet. Kading turns and boots it away. Going towards the far side is Herbst. Battling with Fletcher. Fletcher wins it, and Fletcher volleys it downfield. Emick giving chase with Aronson right there for the Vikings, and he will play it back to his keeper, Woodley. Woodley turns and bangs it downfield. Here's the Vikings with numbers. Centering pass, looking for Peterson. Taken away by Elmhurst, now handed right back to the Vikings. Here's Halls. Halls sending the cross in, and it's headed right back out of play by Mullen. It'll be a throw-in, though, not a corner kick. Chipped into the air. Headed once. Haas wins it, not out of harm's way yet. Now giving chase, and the Blue Jays can control it. Trying to start Emick down the far sideline. It's blocked away by North Park and Graff. Jordan Fletcher will chase after this one and let it go over the end line. Check that, that's Safford who will let it go all the way down. So Reglan will restart it here. Booming that one towards midfield. Witzowski flips it forward with his head. One back by the Vikings. Unable to keep it in play is Halls, and it'll be a throw-in for the Blue Jays here near sideline. Tossed in by Kading. Moore heads it out of the air, but out of play. Another throw-in for North Park. Kading is there to take it away for Elmhurst. Mullen will play back to the feet of Reglan. Reglan doesn't get a whole lot on that one, but Kading able to sweep it up into the air. Headed straight back by North Park, now volleyed out of the air by Mullen. Giving chase is Lashley. He sends that one, it'll run along the sideline and out of play. Throw in for the Blue Jays as we've played 12 and a half minutes so far. Still 1-0 Elmhurst after the quick goal to start. That one stayed in, says the official. It'll be North Park possession. Graff sends far sideline. Sliding play on. Good clean break, says the official. It's steered out of play into the Elmhurst bench and a throw in for the Vikings. Lobbed in for Elmhurst, or for North Park, headed back out by the Blue Jays. And the Vikings will do it again with Ferguson tossing in on the near side. Touched back by Lashley to Ferguson. Ferguson steers it off of Kading. It'll be another Viking throw-in. Inching their way down that near sideline. Ferguson bombing that one into the box. It's headed there by North Park. Reglan comes over to field on the one hop, well wide of the net. Here, boys. 14 minutes gone by. Reglan off the one bounce. Headed by Stifler, pushed on by forward by North Park. Now Safford pops it into the air. There's Halls working on Kading. Halls shooting that one behind his intended target of Damberg. Vikings slide it around. Here's Lashley controlling, pushing forward. This is Halls. Hall's aiming far side for a run from Damberg, but too far in front. It'll bounce into the Elmhurst bench, and it'll be a throw-in for Elmhurst as we're a third of the way through the opening period. 30 minutes left. Elmhurst leads at 1-0. Witzowski battling with three North Park players, and, well, he'll foul two of them. Tripped up two Viking players on the play. I don't see that very often, that get two players tangled up with. But a North Park free kick on their side of midfield. Bang downfield. Haas pops it into the air. Here's Halls looking for the give and go with Halls. Halls centering pass in and ridden loose. Still not out of play. It deflected off a Blue Jay. Looked like it was going to go straight out of bounds. And now Moore does a nice job to push it down the sideline. That ball is going to stay in. Emmett giving chase. Emmett gets dumped to the ground. No foul called. Play on, says the official. Zabzalis got away with that one, it looked like, right in front of us from our vantage point. Nice job by Andrew Moore, though, to keep that ball in play as he just angled that one perfectly down the sideline as Mullen will head that one back about 20 yards. And it's sent right back by the Vikings. Ball stays in. Last touch by an Elmhurst player. It'll be a Viking throw in right in front of the Elmhurst bench. Stifler off a North Park leg. Elmhurst throw in. Vikings will reset, swing it around to the near side. Here's Ferguson. Back to Halls. And here's Zabzils. Lashley sends it forward, steered away nicely by Mullen and Elmhurst. Moore giving chase. Moore trying to win the foot race, screened off the ball nicely by Tamo Musole. Elmhurst recovers. Here's Stifler. Touchdown, now sent downfield on the near sideline. Emig is going to give chase, but North Park will get there in plenty of time. They'll kick it back to their goalkeeper, Wesley Woodley. Plays it to his with his feet and slides it over to Zabzils. Ferguson, hawked by Moore. Now touchdown. Here's Halls with a little bit of space. Halls is broken up nicely by the Blue Jays, is getting back to handle that one. Was Kading, I believe. Lobbed in for North Park and Aronson. Check that, that's Peterson. Ferguson will chip back to Zabzils. Now here's Domberg starting a run on the far side. Works it back towards the center of the field. Touchdown now, boom downfield by Kading, just swept clear. No one there for Elmhurst as Zabzils will go all the way back to his 15-yard line and collect it. Zabzils looking for a teammate and will go short to Ferguson on the near side. Now light pressure being put on by Moore. This one will aim forward. It goes off a shoulder of North Park. A throw in for Elmhurst as Witzowski's clearing attempt. Deflected off of Lashley. Tossed in, flicked on by Moore, stays in play. No, it didn't. Thought it stayed in play, but the official on the near side linesman said nope, it went over the sideline, so a Viking throw in. With 25 minutes to go, 20 minutes gone by already in the books. Haas heads that one forward. Touchdown by Tame Musole. He controls at midfield. Kading leaps up to head that one back. Haas flicks it around. Moore is there for Elmhurst. Moore turns and shoots that one out of play. Vikings throw in on the Elmhurst side of the field. Ferguson for Tame Musole. Ferguson looking for Halls. Halls working on Stifler. Has it deflected into the air. Kept in play by Elmhurst, but controlled by Ferguson. Back to Halls, or no, looking for the give and go with Halls, and Halls wasn't moving. So an Elmhurst throw in. Jonas Peterson expecting Halls to take a run down the near sideline, and Halls was kind of frozen at about the 15. Long toss. Haas keeps it in play, back towards midfield. Last touch by North Park. It'll be an Elmhurst throw in. The Blue Jays push it forward about 20 yards, and now Haas bombs it forward looking for Emig. Swept forward off a North Park head. Well, Elmhurst moving up 20 yards and throwing it in again. And we'll do it a third time. Moore will toss back to Kading, and Kading will fire. Lobbing for open space, trying to connect with Emig. Ferguson shields him off the ball, but Moore is there for Elmhurst. Moore starting a run up. Moore working on Ferguson. Moore trying to play back to, trying to touch it back to Emig behind him, but too far towards the sideline. It rolls out. We're coming up on the halfway point of period number 1. Emig trying to touch over to Stifler, taken away by the Vikings and Graef. Graef to Jacob Aronson. North Park looking to counter. Plays back is now a slipping and falling is Lashley. Elmhurst had it, lost it. Lashley is there for the Vikings. Moore to challenge for the Blue Jays. Comes all the way back to the near sideline. Here's Ferguson. With some room to work, Ferguson will fire that one in. Regland coming out will handle on the one hop and pull it out of harm's way. Good play by John Regland so far. Each team with a shot. Elmhurst, the only one that on goal, went into the net 2.5 minutes into the game. Off a free kick. Here's Safford saving it. Keeping it in play towards the far sideline. Headed back by North Park. And Peterson sent downfield, but that one will roll all the way back into the box. Regland will go trap it with his feet. He's just going to walk around with it and run some time off the clock before someone decides to come out and pressure him a little bit. The Blue Jays get the lead. They are very adept at being able to eat up some extra seconds off the clock. Regland probably takes about 15 off the clock right there. Jonas Peterson apparently having some conversation with Regland near the top of the box. Regland wanting him to back up. Peterson says, nope, thank you. Regland's boot goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Vikings as we hit 21 minutes left on the clock. Long pass sent ahead, again at the feet of Regland. And once again, Peterson will trot in, as Regland will pick it up for the Blue Jays. Regland aiming for the far sideline for Safford. Goes out of play, and another North Park throw-in. Taken away by Safford off of a North Park leg and an Elmhurst throw-in. Throw-in overshoots the intended Blue Jay target, and Fletcher taken now by North Park. Whistle, and a foul goes against Elmhurst.
Come on, boys.
Free kick is headed back out of play by the Blue Jays, or back out of the box by the Blue Jays. Chipped in ahead. Long run. Regland comes flying out to punch that one into the air. Still not out of harm's way. Halls is there to control, and Halls is just going to chip that one well wide. I think Regland thought the North Park player may have been offsides. Flag never went up, and Regland alertly just punching that one out of play. It looks like he may have collided with one of his own teammates or one of the North Park players. Limping around just a little bit there. Maybe just banged up his knee a little bit, touching up that right knee a couple times, trying to stretch it out. And we'll stop the clock. Both teams in conversation. The captains of both squads getting into conversations with our head official, Art Arustamayan. Peterson not happy it took so long for the official to stop the clock on that play. That one headed off of a North Park player. No, correction, off of an Elmhurst player. Throw in for Halls. Chip back, Ferguson, lost it. Here's Stifler. Stifler boots it downfield. Emick was trying to come up the near sideline, but that one was too far center. Rolls all the way back into the box where Woodley scoops it up and fires it back downfield. There is Fletcher waiting for it on the one hop though. Fletcher sends it near sideline, trying to spring Emick. Aronson working with Emick in the corner. Loose, here's a centering pass for the Blue Jays. It's broken up by North Park nicely. Here come the Vikings looking to counter. Halls gets around Kading. Pressured from behind by Stifler. Halls keeps his dribble. Now it's poked loose by Witzowski. Witzowski wins it and has got some space and some room to run. Witzowski chipping on to Emick. Emick is there onside. Emick, can he get there? And a sliding play by Woodley to save that one. Wesley Woodley, about 10 yards almost from the top of the box, came out to make that play, and a huge play for the North Park keeper. Otherwise, Emick was in all alone and almost chipped that one over his head, but Woodley with the diving slide to take it away. Now here's the Vikings with some room on the far side. Putting on the brakes and stealing it away for the Blue Jays. Here's Fletcher. He loses it right back, turning around and driving that one off the football upright. Substitution now for the Vikings. And in the red cow is Graff, the man who took the shot, number 11. Mike Herbst comes out. See if we can figure out who the that ball will be a an Elmhurst throw in with 16.5 minutes to go. Marcus Fodstad, the substitution, who had come in for the Vikings. Lobbed in, Emick plays back, Stifler. Volleys it towards the middle of the field. Nobody there except the Vikings. Tame Musole there, sending far side. There's Domberg with a run. Domberg, that one's gonna go off an Elmhurst leg, and we should have a corner kick coming up for North Park.
Come on, Park, let's get this. Go, Jacob.
It's like Graff, number 11, the man in the corner, is going to take the corner kick for them. That one bent back in, overshooting a couple heads, but North Park collects it. Now taken away by Elmhurst and Safford. Safford with some room. Safford playing to space, trying to spring Emick to the near side. Emick giving chase, but won by North Park and Ferguson. Moore heads it forward. Witzowski has it momentarily, then lost it back. It'll roll all the way out. Elmhurst content to just let that one roll and take some more time off the clock. Get their substitutions in as well, as 3 subs coming in for Blue Jays. 32, 11, and 10 are out for Elmhurst. Fletcher, Emick, and Stifler. It's like Josh Rudd, Eric Daughtry, two of the men coming in for the Blue Jays. Rudd flips it forward. It's out of play. It'll be a throw in for the Vikings. Flipped on by Lashley. Rudd to the feet of Austin Haas. Haas maintains possession, looking for Daughtry on the far side. Daughtry is there, plays back behind him to his teammate. Trying to give and go to Daughtry, and he was too far behind. The pass was too far behind him. Swept clear by North Park. It'll run all the way down. Good leg by Elmhurst trainer Matt Pasalacqua there to knock that one down. Daughtry looking for Witzowski. Taken away. Here's North Park with the chance. Vikings have an opportunity with some numbers. Winding and firing and shooting that one just wide. Did it touch off an Elmhurst leg? Yes, it did. So it will be a corner kick.
Come on, North Park.
May have been Domberg, the man with the shot. Nope, I checked that. I think that's number 9, Peterson. Another corner kick opportunity for the Vikings as we come down to 13 minutes to go in the half. This one lined across. Safford volleys it out of the air. It bounces all the way back out to the 20. Daughtry gives chase for Elmhurst. Daughtry gets there, touches back to Haas. Haas works around his man. Screened off, but a whistle and a foul going to go against Austin Haas. So good opportunity here for the Vikings. They're about 22 yards out of the goal, but from the far corner here, or from the near corner, near angle. Graeff. Volleyed right back out of there by the Blue Jays. Fostad actually took the free kick, number 37. Sent back in again. Reglan is there to snatch it out of the air. Reglan slings it out to the feet of Jeff Kading. Kading with some room to work. Kading crosses midfield, playing it towards open space, trying to lead Daughtry, but it'll trickle out of play.
Come on, North Park. Let's go, boys.
Flinging that one well out of play is Reglan. Couple of subs for North Park. It'll be a Viking throw-in near midfield. Lobbed in, but headed right back out by the Blue Jays. Turning around and steering it is Gustafsson. Gustafsson. That one chipped back in, bouncing out. Reglan is there to field it on the 2-hop. Yarwood shielding his man off the ball. It's number 10, Freddie Sund, who came in, who was making the run towards the middle as we're down to 10 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the first half. Still 1-0 Elmhurst after the Emick goal, just 2.5 into it. Haas tries to steer it the other way, sent right back in by Fostad. Collected by Lashley. Play on, no, a foul going to go against Elmhurst, and they're going to get Harnick for a foul. So a good opportunity for the Vikings here. A free kick from 30 yards out, almost dead center. Quick restart, and it hits the post and goes in. Number 9, the man who puts it in for North Park. nothing like celebrating by tossing something into the Elmhurst stands. Jonas Peterson, the quick restart for the Vikings off the free kick. Second time we've seen that happen against Elmhurst this year. It happened earlier this year in their loss against the opener against Carleton. Blue Jays caught, not quite set on the free kick. Vikings take advantage and knock it home, even it up with 9:57 left to go. Here's Andrew Moore right back down the middle. Moore works his way in, and it's stood up by the Vikings. Whistle, and that's going to be a clock stoppage. Andrew Moore going to get called for the foul, and a little lecture from the referee, no card. So we're even up at 1. The Blue Jays got on the board 2.5. The Vikings cash in late in the half with under 10 minutes to go off the free kick from 30 yards out. Free kick from Peterson caught the inside of the goal post and then bounced back into the net. Haas plays at the feet of Rudd. Here's Kading playing onto Moore. Moore gets around his man. There's Rudd. Rudd centering pass out in front, and the Blue Jays just miss. Here's Haas unloading. His shot is blocked. Still loose. Haas recovers again, steps in and fires and through the uprights. Couple good looks for the Blue Jays. And now North Park having some conversations with the officials. Artur Rustamayan going to be very popular out there in the middle of the field today. Going to talk to probably about every player on the field. Good opportunities for the Blue Jays as Rudd centering pass just missed connecting, and then Haas with two good looks. One was blocked and the other one sent through the uprights. Witzowski there for the Blue Jays. Here's Kading. Keeps that one in near sideline. Daughtry is there. Daughtry tipped on to Moore. Moore with some space. Andrew Moore trying to redirect. It's grabbed by Rudd. And taken away now by North Park and Gustafsson. Headed straight back by the Blue Jays. Now controlled. Here's Fostad. Sending near side. Getting around his man, sending a long drive in, and that one went over the top. That hit the football crossbar directly behind the soccer net. As Freddie Sun, number 10, let that one fly from the tight angle and went over the top. 7.5 minutes to go. We're even up, pretty close game. 4 shots for North Park, 3 for Elmhurst. Neither keeper credited with a save just yet. We've seen him make a couple alert heads-up plays, breaking up some corner kicks and crosses, and a great play by Woodley to break up a near breakaway chance by Emick. Near miss for the Blue Jays the last time down the field.
Lock it down, boys. Come on.
Lobbed in. That goes off a foot of Lashley. Another throw in for Elmhurst near midfield. Kading lobs for Daughtry. Sent right back by Lashley. Kading will walk it up about 10 yards and try it again. This time he hits Daughtry. Daughtry working on 2 men, taken away by Osberg. And Daughtry whistled for a foul, so North Park ball with 6:20 to go. Here's Aronson. Lashley sends that one downfield, giving chase. Trying to get there is Sun, but he cannot. It'll go over the end line, a throw-in for Elmhurst. Reglan brushing off the turf. Adjust the shin guards, and now we'll get set to bang it back downfield with 5:35 left to go in this first half and a 1-1 tie. Just over the head of Moore, but Haas is there to win it for Elmhurst, but Lashley intercepts his pass intended for Rudd. Back the other way comes Gustafsson. Gustafsson working around Rudd. Pass broken up by the Blue Jays, but knocked right back down by North Park. Peterson. Near side, Osberg. That one headed around. Reglan is going to chase after it and pull it down. 4 minutes, 35 seconds left in the first half of a 1-1 tie. It's a very even contest so far. 5 shots for North Park, 3 for Elmhurst. Both team shots on goal have ended up in the back of the net. Reglan will just snatch this one out of midair at the top of the box, play it out to Kading. Kading's got all kinds of room in front of him. Takes a look, looks for Rudd, and it goes off a North Park leg and taken away by the Vikings. Aronson plays back at the feet of Woodley. Woodley will walk to the top of the box and boot it away. Christian Mullen heads it forward for the Blue Jays, chipped up by Rudd. Giving chase is Harnick. Harnick gets around his defender, trying to spring Daughtry to the outside. Touched back nicely by the North Park defender to Woodley, and he just blasts that one out of play. Elmhurst throw-in coming, 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the opening half. Touchdown by Elmhurst, one back by Yarwood. Yarwood breaking up a run, just pokes it out of play. Quick restart by the Vikings, goes out of play. Elmhurst lobs in for Daughtry. No, can't connect with him. Taken away by the Vikings. Now headed down by Osberg. Near side, here's Sund. Kading works with him. Kading now turns, it goes off of Sund. Haas wins this battle. Touches on to Moore to the near side. Moore trying to find Rudd, and nicely broken up from behind by Graff. Lashley with 2:25 left on the clock. One back by Elmhurst and Haas. Here's Rudd. He's got space to work with. Now we'll send Harnick long to the outside. Harnick have to chase out after this one to keep it in, and does so just near midfield. North Park able to get back now defensively. Harnick will play back to Witzowski. Slides it across the field to Kading. Kading with some room. Kading chipping it in. Daughtry giving chase, and coming out and corralling that one, not giving a rebound, is Woodley, as he bangs it downfield, but headed right back by Mullen. Witzowski flips it ahead to Harnick. Harnick again having to chase it down. He'll keep it in play again on the far side. Harnick plays the space for Daughtry. He's there for the Blue Jays. Tangled up, and flag comes up, and a foul going against Daughtry and Elmhurst. One minute, 23 seconds left as North Park restarts. Osberg. To Lashley. Near sideline, it comes to Zabzils. Zabzils flips it forward, one back by Haas. Haas putting on some pressure here. Under a minute to go, 54 seconds. Here's Gustafsson. Witzowski battling on the far side with Graff. Graff maintains possession, now loses it out of bounds right in front of the Elmhurst net. Graff has some words with the official. But it's Elmhurst throwing with 30 seconds to go. I'll back him up towards the 40-yard line here on the Blue Jays side of the field. Headed on by the Blue Jays. It's going to run out of play on the far sideline. So 12 seconds to go. North Park will just toss this one in. That's how this first half will come to an end, as this one's lifted back towards the middle of the field. Haas pulls it down. There's still 5 seconds left here. North Park, here comes one last run from the far side. Unloading, and it will one-hop into the arms of Reglan. Clock sounded beforehand anyway. So first half is in the books with a 1-1 tie. Elmhurst getting a goal quickly into the game, just 2.5 minutes in. North Park getting the equalizer in the 36th minute of action. So we are tied up at 1. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll step away, and we'll be back with the second half of action. You're watching Elmhurst College Men's Soccer on BlueJayTV.com.